So far on my Nissan 350Z, we have fitted a wide body kit, fitted some massive wheels, put some coilovers in, put a Starlight headland in, done a custom exhaust. But the final thing to do to really complete and finish off this build is get it painted. Now, if you've seen part one to this video, you'd see where we're up to already. We've already done all of the filler work, all of the sanding. We've also already painted the door shuts in black. Now, this does not mean that I'm going to be painting the outside of the car in black, because that would just be a bit boring. So here we have the new colour for my 350Z, but you're going to have to wait a little bit to see that. First step is getting this car pulled apart and getting it in primer, and then we can look at the colour. So let's get to the body shop. So this is Josh. Josh is a long-time friend, and also he paints cars for a living, so he's going to be helping me, well, more like I'm going to be helping him paint my Nissan 350Z in this video. So like I said in the intro, the first steps are getting the car stripped apart, and that means getting the wide body kit off for the 19th time, getting the lights out, getting the bumpers off, all these sorts of parts. Now, we also wanted to smooth in the aerial and the rear wiper to give a much cleaner look, so we welded up the holes and then skimmed them with body filler, and they were good to go. Action! Oh yes, action shots, very nice. Okay, so we've now got the 350 stripped apart from the back bumper. That still needs to come off, but we need to get in the air to get the wheels off to protect them from getting all oversprayed on them. But everything I think is more or less ready to go. Josh is just finishing off the final prep bits. But the real question is, what's a professional's opinion on our prep work? So Josh, pick us apart. Give us a rating out of 10 first.
We'll go with a 5, 6.
5 or a 6. Okay, go on.
It's not bad.
What did we do wrong?
I've seen worse. Just a few bits. He's got a few hard lines, a bit hard to get rid of, and from the door shuts with the hard. Are you
saying we didn't mask it well enough? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd been better on the edge, easier to feather the line out for the paint. But overall, it's not a bad job.
A 6. I'll take a 6. So, you know, a 10 out of 10 is a perfect job, and
it has helped massively getting it ready for this stage.
Right, let's get on with it. So a 6 out of 10 for a rookie. I'm going to say that's not bad at all. I'll take that. I'm pretty happy with that. As I said, there's a few final bits of prep to do, and then it was on with the masking. So after I'd had a nap underneath the back bumper, that could finally come off, and then we could start masking off all of the paintwork on my door shuts specifically. Because I'd done such a fantastic job on these, we wanted to protect them and make sure we didn't get any overspray from the new colour on the black door shuts, which probably makes a bit more work than it should have been, to be honest. Now, one thing that I thought would be a good idea is just threading in the old bolts into the riv nuts to make sure that we don't get any paint inside the threads, which would make it harder to put the new bolts in once the car's painted. So after a good thorough clean, it was now time to high build primer the areas where the repairs have been completed. Right, so the whole car is now masked off, and we've paid particular attention to the bits that I've already painted, so the door shuts, the boot shut, under the bonnet. So Josh, if you get paint on there, I am going to kill you, just saying. So high build primer is essentially just a final coat to even out any repair work that you've previously done. It's then sanded and then hit with another layer of primer, which paint is put on top of. And profiteroles, they just tend to fuel Josh. The new colour is definitely going to need some contrast, so there's going to be some parts of the car which are going black to break it up, and the roof being one of those is going to be the first part of the car that we paint. So to do this, we're using exactly the same paint that I used on the door shuts. It's just a direct gloss, straight black, nothing fancy here. And once that's sprayed on, get about 2 or 3 coats, that was good to go. Okay, so we're now on the start of day number 2, and I have come down with possibly the world's worst cold, but I'm an absolute trooper and I don't let this stop us, so keep on grafting through. We've got the roof painted in black, we've got the high build primer on, we've got the guide coat on, so it now needs to be sanded, primed, painted, get the body kit painted, and how long do you reckon that's going to take?
Good day.
A good day. Good day. I was definitely playing down how bad that cold was. I think it was more like the plague if I'm being real. But anyway, once we've sanded down the car for one final time to remove that guide coat, then you know the paint is perfectly flat and it's ready for that first coat of primer. So one of the keys to getting a good paint finish is working as clean as possible. So after we've blown off the whole car and thoroughly panel wiped it, then ran over it with a tack cloth, the paint was good to go. So now, the car was ready. It was completely prepped and ready for primer. After this point, there was no turning back. We were working on a pretty tight time scale, and if there is any flaws underneath this coat, we kind of just had to crack on with it. So fingers crossed we did a good job. So as soon as this primer is laid on and dry, we can lay on the colour. So that means that in a second, you guys get to see the colour that I've picked for my Nissan 350Z. Okay, so the primer is now on the car and we are ready for our base coat. Go on then, Brooke, I'll let you do the honours. Epic build up coming in. So the colour that we've gone for is Porsche Acid Green, which might be a little bit of a boring decision because I kind of gave it away on the calipers. We're going to be repainting those, giving them a freshen up and doing the rest of the body of the car in that colour. We're not doing the roof, obviously we've already done that black. The wing mirrors are staying black. The splitter and the diffuser are also going black. So there's a bit of a contrast going on as well because it's going to be bright. That's right, I've gone that out there. I've picked the brightest colour I could possibly find because I think this sort of car just suits it. Now, I'm sure some of you will love it and some of you will hate it, but it is what it is. I absolutely love it. It's so in your face, it hurts, and that's how this sort of car should be in my mind. And if you're wondering what sort of Porsches this colour would come on, it's actually most common to be seen on their hybrid models on the brake calipers, but also it does come on the 918 hypercar. So coverage with this colour was actually pretty good. It took 3 coats to completely cover the car and get it ready for clear. So 3 coats of clear later, the body of the car was done and we could start doing the other parts of the car, sort of the wide arches and the bumpers, and really get it finished off. I don't think the colour is actually done justice on this video. I don't know if there's just overspray on the lens or what it is, but in the daylight, honestly, you will not get your head around how bright this thing is. Now these parts were starting to dry, we could start refitting them to the car. So the first thing to go on was the side skirts, followed by the front arches. But before we put any of the fiberglass parts back on, we sprayed the backs of them with this like black rubberized coating, which actually really helped with road noise and the sound of stones being flicked up from the road. So I didn't expect it, but yeah, works really well. Make sure you go and give Josh's company a follow on Instagram. I'll leave a @ thing at the bottom of the screen right now. So I'm sure some of you will be glad to see that we're using much nicer bolts this time when fitting the kit back up, using these nice little Allen dome head black things, which are loads better than the silver hex heads that we had in before. And it would be rude also if I didn't have a crack at painting a panel myself, so the driver's side front wing I painted from start to finish. So if you do see the car out and about, go and have a look at how bad my work is. So as I finish off by spraying the last of the back of the fiberglass parts, and Josh painted the last of the gloss black on the diffuser, the splitter, the wing mirrors and the door handles, all of the spraying was just about done. So there we have the final pieces of the puzzle painted. That's a lot of P's going on there. But yeah, so that's all the gloss black bits done. So we've got the splitter, the diffuser, the door handles, which I did before but very badly, the wing mirrors and the other parts of the diffuser. Just waiting for these to dry and then we can start finishing, bolting everything up back to the car. Woo! So one of the things that makes a big difference when fitting these bolt-on wide arch kits is running this nice little rubber gasket in between the body and the wide arch, because it really just fills in those gaps nicely and makes it look like a much cleaner finish.
Day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Keep it.
So now we're on the final home straight, fitting up the front bumper, the wing mirrors, the door handles and all of the bits we took off when we were preparing the car.
I'll just be on my way. You see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that.
Now we won't be wet sanding the car in this video. This is an off the gun finish. So as some of you may know, I actually own a detailing business, so I think it falls down to me to do the wet sanding and the polishing on this one.
Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me. Daily, get your mind on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home. Tell me.
So the final pieces are attaching the rear diffuser to the rear bumper, ready for that to go back onto the car, and then we could put in our freshly tinted rear lights, which Josh did by mixing black and clear coat together and spraying a couple of coats on those, which gives a really nice clean finish.
Baby.
And then once the rear arches had gone on with their fresh gasket, the car was done. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my Nissan 350Z is now 99% complete, and it's a complete transformation from where we started at the beginning of this video. So I'll show you now. Let me know in the comment section what you think. The colour is pretty Marmite. I'm sure some of you will love it and some of you will definitely hate it, but that's what it's all about. No one's going to love everything. So anyway, here we are. Here is my freshly painted, wide-bodied, rocket bunny on pocket money Nissan 350Z. So how much better is the 350Z looking now? It's a completely different car, and I'm sure you can imagine, for the right reasons and the wrong reasons, it's definitely a head turner now. And there are still some bits that I want to finish off on the car. I want to try and match in the bumper wide body kind of part in with the other bits by running some black silicone around here. And I've had some people also mention about the spoiler being in the wrong place. Apparently it's supposed to sit further down and line up with the bottom of the boot, but I did try this when fitting it and it definitely didn't line up right, and to be honest with you, I sort of prefer it slightly higher up and a bit more angled, so I can definitely deal with that. So personally, I think that one, painting the kit, but two, also running this gasket in between the body and the kit itself has made a real big difference and makes it look like it's, you know, a decent fitting kit. There is still the odd bit, but you know, I can live with it, I can live with it. And I would like to do a little bit more work up front. I'd definitely like to get a grille in here and also some behind the fog light kind of hole things, and also maybe put some daytime running lights in these holes here. But it's looking so much better, but it definitely did need the black parts like the roof, the wing mirror, the splitter and the diffuser to break it up. I would also quite like to make up a gloss black side skirt as well of some sort to match in with the diffuser and the splitter, but we'll leave that for another time. Overall, I am chuffed to bits with this. I think the colour is perfect for the car. It's the sort of car that you build on a video game when you were, you know, in your teens before you could drive, and that's exactly what I set out to do. So my idol, Mr. Mark McCann, said something in one of his videos which I think resonates quite truly for what we've done with the Nissan 350Z, so I'll put that in here.
What's amazing, when you see a little boy, a little 3-year-old, he doesn't know whether this is expensive, he doesn't know it's a
Nissan.
He just sees a car, and when he sees a car which makes him stop and point, that tells you that
Chris Slicks
got this car right. Like I say, he doesn't know whether this is a supercar or not. He doesn't know that it does 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. With his eyes, he sees something of beauty and something exciting on 4 wheels. So that is special.
Never a truer word spoken by the legend himself. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to anyone and everyone who has given a hand on this Nissan 350Z build, but also if you've been watching the videos at home, I truly appreciate it. All of you guys are absolute legends. Now, that is it for this video, but do not think that is it for this car. We've still got loads more to do to it, and also we've got an epic Top Gear kind of style road trip to Monaco planned in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you next time.